Okay, I'm going to do something that's kind of a waste of my time, and I know it, but I'm trying to get this camera set up here. It's just sitting on a stack of books because I'm too lazy to put it in a little tripod thing. So if it seems tilted, no, I don't know how to go about asking this, but I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube where Christians are asking atheists, what if you're wrong? And it makes me wonder, has an atheist asked a Christian, has atheists asked Christians, what if you're wrong? Probably they have, because I think there's so many videos on YouTube that everything's been done at least once. So probably this is not the first time that an atheist has asked Christians, what if you're wrong? But I'm asking. It seems to me it would really be sad. Of course, I don't really think that there's an afterlife, so most likely when you die you're just gone and there's no regrets. There's no feeling like you wasted your entire life hoping to die. You wasted your whole life hoping to die. See, I think that's a real tragedy. And it hurts me to think that other people... See, that's what I did. And maybe that's why I put out videos, because it makes me sad to see other people in the same place that I was. It makes me sad. I wasted so many years of my life. Never even crossed my mind that it could all be a lie, or it could all be not even... I mean, it never crossed my mind when I talked about cults. I never talked about my religion, Christianity. Everything else, those were cults. False religions, false gods, but not mine. Now, of course, my God, my religion, my beliefs, Jesus, that was all true. But all the other beliefs, all the other gods that had come before, or even the ones that the modern religions, gods that weren't Christianity, they're all fake, they're all false, they're all cults. Everything's bad, everything's wrong, everything's a lie, except for my beliefs. And I put so much of my life into this. I looked at, my mom I grew up thinking that I didn't have any value, and that the way to get value was through this religion, through the beliefs, through this being good enough, being a good Christian, that I would have value to her, that I would feel valuable, that I would feel like a good person, because so much of me wanted to be a good person. I had my dad for 6 years of my life. And my dad was probably the best person. Of course, then again, I was a little kid when he died, and when you're a little kid, I was a daddy's girl, and I put my dad on a pedestal, So he's probably way more of a good person in my mind than he was in reality. But I saw him as a great, wonderful, kind person. And that stuck with me. All my life I've wanted to be a good person like my dad. And my mom and I became a Christian because I wanted to please my mom. I did truly believe in it. I did truly ask Jesus into my heart. But the motivation was I wanted to please my mom. I wanted to, have something in common with her. Some kind of bridge with her. Anyway, all my life I've looked outside of myself to find my worth. I looked outside of myself thinking that how my mother felt about me determined my worth. That expanded to the religion. How good a Christian I was determined my worth. Whether or not I could be what I believed a good Christian should be, that'll determine my worth. That expanded to when I got married, being a good wife, making my husband happy. Again, all outside of myself. Basically, what I was doing was I was giving other exterior things the power over my self-esteem. I wasn't growing inside because everything was outside. I don't know if that makes any sense. Anyway, it's not going to get any more serious. That's as serious as it goes. The point I'm trying to say is, it was a crutch. Religion was a huge crutch for me. I did not believe I had any value without it. I did not believe that I could be a good person but without it. I believed I was garbage without it. I believed that the only thing that loved me in this world was God and Jesus. The only things that ever stayed, everything else passed away. Friendship after friendship that I thought was real. I've learned the hard way that real friends are hard to get, hard to come by, few and far between. The kinds that stay with you when the chips are down, when times get tough, those kind of friends, pretty hard to find. Anyway, I've learned a lot about Christianity when I finally started listening to the questions I had inside, questions that I've had for a long, long time. My mom, when I was a little kid, told me that I had a lot of perception. She thought when we got into the Unity Church when we first moved out here that it was a Christian church. I was just a little kid, but I picked up on the fact that all the songs that we sang in Sunday school, none of them had anything to do with Jesus. We never talked about Jesus in this church. We never prayed to Jesus. Jesus wasn't a name. There were no crosses anywhere. I pointed this out to her after a few months. Anyway, she gave me credit for that. She gave me credit for helping her realize that we were not at a Christian church, and that really, she was a devout Christian, so that was important to her. Anyway, I like to think that those questions I had in the back of my mind for so long about my own beliefs that I chose to ignore was that same perception that I had when I was a little kid, that I never lost it, that I just became deaf to it as I got older, and I was learning to ignore my own instincts, my own common sense. Now I look back and I realize that I've known for a long time that there were really bad things about this religion that I didn't want to face. I didn't want to look straight on. I just wanted to dance around the things that I found disturbing and only fixate on the things that agreed with me, agreed with the person that I am inside. See, I'm a good person inside, so of course I picked out the things in the Bible that I agreed with, and that was my religion. That was my version of Christianity, what I thought was right and true and hit home with me in my heart when I read the Bible, or when I heard people preach or whatever. That was my version of Christianity. And I honestly think that that's how it is with most people. I think most people who are Christians pick out what they want from the Bible that resonates in them, and that's Christianity. And the things that don't resonate with them, those are the things that they don't look at. They choose to ignore, or they call metaphors, or whatever. They don't acknowledge it. Well, that's the Old Testament. That's not what I believe. Well, maybe that's in the Bible, but that's not what I believe. I think we all had or have our own idea of what a good person is. I said this a little bit in another video, and I think that's what we all, if you have to have a Jesus or a Savior or a Lord or whatever, that's who it is. That's your idea of who Jesus is that good person that you imagine, the best person you could ever imagine, that you wish you could be. That's all the qualities that you bestow upon Jesus or whoever your Savior God is. That's what I did. Anyway, but is it true? It's one thing to have beliefs. It's nothing wrong with believing in what a good person is. Nothing wrong with having an idea in your head what a good person is and what you would like to be, what you would like to strive for. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think that's a great thing. But is the religion that you glom onto because it fits what your ideas are of what a good person is or what a good life is, just because a religion fits your ideas, is it true? Does it matter? Does it matter to you if it's true? Does it matter? I don't know. I particularly didn't like the whole threats of hell stuff about this religion. Even when I was a Christian, I didn't believe that. I believe that God knows everybody's heart, and God knows the people who truly seek after Him or seek to be good people. Of course, that's not really true with Christianity. With Christianity, if you don't do this and this and this, you're going to hell. But even when I was a Christian, my version of Christianity was a lot tamer than that. I was like, well, this is what the Bible says, this is what this religion says, but deep down inside I believed that good people did not go to hell. That God knows our hearts. That if you're truly striving for closeness with God, even if you're in the wrong religion, if you're striving for closeness with God, whether that be Allah or Yahweh, that's all that mattered to God. You didn't have to be a Christian. You didn't have to call your God Jesus or Yahweh. Could have been whatever, as long as you were seeking Him. That's all that mattered to Him. That's what I believed when I was a Christian. Now I don't believe in God. I really don't think anything like that exists. I don't see any need for it. In fact, what I've read about the biblical God, I don't think that thing would be a good... I'm glad it doesn't exist because it's evil. And if the Quran is like the Bible in that it's, from what I understand, it's also an Abrahamic religion founded on Judaism, it's also based on the same monster of the Old Testament. I don't think that thing exists. I'm glad it doesn't exist. And it has nothing to do with what I think is a good person and what I want to be. I don't need that religion to strive to be a good person. I still have that in my mind, what I think a good person should be. And I think of my dad. I think of the best people I know. I met some really good people. I had some really good friends. That's what I think about. That's what I strive to be. All the things that I wish, I could be, that's what I strive for. It doesn't take a religion. But the thing is, I'm learning to live my life. I'm learning to enjoy every day and not look at things that I don't have and cry for the things that I don't have, but look at what I have and be happy with what I have and not worry about things that I can't change. Well, one day I'm going to die and it'll be over, but even though it's over, I will not have wasted my whole life in delusion. I will have had clear sight. I would have found what's right for me, the truth for me. I think everybody's truth is different, but I think truth is important. I don't think saying that I just believe because I want to believe. How can anybody be that way? How can anybody be satisfied with that if there's any doubt at all? This is a man-made religion, there's no evidence, there's nothing to support it. It flies in the face of science. Everything that we discover about the natural world contradicts what this book says. Doesn't it matter if what you believe is true? See, I think it should matter. I think truth is important. I think looking at the world through clear sight with this one life that we get to have is so important. Understanding where we are in the universe and who we are and how we fit into the whole big scheme of things is so important. We're only going to be here for a short time. This is our time. And just understanding enough to appreciate where we are and what we're a part of, rather than having blinders on and looking ahead at some promised future life that probably won't actually happen. And the best part is you're going to die, you're not going to have any regrets, because you're just going to be gone, but you will have wasted your whole life on some delusion of some afterlife that isn't even going to be. The one life that you have, you used up on false promises. So, I sometimes wonder what Christians, they ask atheists, what if you're wrong? Well, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I don't think I am. If I'm wrong, I think I would rather burn in hell forever than worship the God that's depicted in the Bible, honestly. That's the worst case scenario. If I'm wrong and you're right and your God really exists, then I will burn in hell, but I will have the satisfaction of knowing that I never praised a thing that condones slavery and derives pleasure in killing pregnant women and babies and enslaving young girls. I never worshipped that. I never praised that. Actually, I did. But I came to my senses, and I didn't waste my whole life doing that. So that's the worst case scenario if I'm wrong. But what's the worst case scenario for a Christian if they're wrong and there's no afterlife? They'll be gone. They will have spent their life. Their life will be over. All the time that you put into, all the time you spent in a building, all the things that you denied yourself. And I'm not talking about running around sinning. I'm talking about all the time that you could have been out there in the world learning, growing, experiencing life, learning from it, rather than sticking your nose in a book and repeating verses and whatever and feeling guilty and about stuff that is just natural human mistakes that we all make. Anyway, this is getting too long and I'm tired, but I think it's a bigger loss for a Christian. In the end, they will have spent their life on something that's false. and they won't even get to regret it. They'll just be gone. Their one chance to live, and that's why I hate religion so. It's not the people, because I don't think that the people who are the leaders or your average pastor knows that it's a lie, but just that it takes away people's lives. It takes away from people's lives one chance for them to. I'd rather live and see clearly, I guess is what I'm trying to say, and then live in delusion. It's just, life is too precious for that. So this has gotten to be way too deep. And I don't even know if I'm going to put it up because it's just way too deep. But I just feel bad when I see Christians that are so stuck on, oh, you're going to go to hell if you don't believe what I believe, and shit like that. It's like, why are you believing this shit? Why do you put this in charge of your life? Why would you worship such a God? You know? So, anyway, I don't think I'm going to put this up. It's 21 minutes long. But if I do, thanks for watching. Bye.